Hello, my name is CJ Roseberry. I am the Family Services Clinical Coordinator at Uplift Center for Grieving Children. And today I am going to be leading us through an essay that I'll be reading by Erica Michaels Hollander titled, Am I All Right? And then we'll spend a little bit of time reflecting and journaling together. And we'll close out with some sun breaths. And this video shouldn't be too terribly long. And if you need to pause at any point and come back to it, I encourage you to do so. And if at any point, anything that I'm reading or talking about or any questions that I'm posing just become a little bit too much, feel free to turn the video off and come back to it, or don't watch the video if it's bringing up stuff and it doesn't make you feel okay, or it doesn't elicit feelings and thoughts in yourself that you want to be having right now, because we know you're not okay, but the hope is that this video will bring you a little bit of peace, quiet, and rest and time for yourself, which you so deserve as a caregiver. And this video is for caregivers. So if you're a caregiver, caregiving for any children in your life, you don't have to be a parent, just a caregiver. And we'll begin with the excerpt that I'll read. I have posted it on the screen so that you can read along with me. And please, as I said earlier, feel free to pause if you would rather read through the excerpt yourself first and then move along. The first excerpt that I'll be reading is from the first paragraph of the essay, and this entire essay is about 6 pages long, and I chose the first couple paragraphs to share with you so that you can reflect and think about what the author is writing in this essay. Am I all right? Everyone seems to be asking me that. Since a few months ago, my much beloved husband died suddenly, and then shortly thereafter, my mother died after an illness of more than 30 years. Ever since, it feels like many people have been asking me whether or not I'm all right. I recognize that most people who ask the question are concerned for my well-being and have very good intentions, even tender intentions. But that does not mean that it is an easy question to answer. The process of deep grief, in my case, compounded by the death of my mother, and overlaid thereafter with concern for my father's quality of life, is a confusing and difficult one. Often, I find I don't know how to respond to the question. In one sense, I am absolutely all right. I'm sane, I'm alive, I'm physically healthy, I'm thinking and working, I'm in touch with many wonderful people, and my heart is broken. I am badly damaged. I may never be all right in the way I was once again. Yet, when a friend said I was not doing well, I was outraged. I told her that she could say I was in despair, that I was bereft, that my world had collapsed, but please do not say I was not doing well. How could you think of me if I were skipping gaily through life just now? I asked. I did not feel like being judged inadequate in some way because I grieve. When my doctor asked me if I wanted to take some medication for my sadness, I said empathetically, no. I am completely and totally 100% sane, in touch with my sadness, with the tragedies that have occurred. I don't want to be numb to them. It is feeling them that bears witness to their meaning and the loves and lives lost. I would play it false if I could not feel it all and cry it all and rage against the unfairness of it all. I am terribly damaged, and yet I am perfectly whole. Somehow, in the darkness that is new, I know myself now better than ever before. In this terrible bereavement, I find myself suddenly sure of what I must do, certain of how I feel and what care I have to take care of myself in measures that eluded me when I had less loss. I have no margin for error, so I must choose with definition. How strange this land I have come to is. I may never feel all right again, and yet I am absolutely all right. I am bereft, but this is where I have to be because my losses are so great and because my loves were so deep and they abide with me. So that was just a short excerpt from the 6-page essay. And I thought we could just take a moment to journal and reflect. If journaling is not your thing, I can totally understand that if you don't want to write. But if you just want to spend a few moments reflecting on what I read and what you read through, and even if you want to go back and listen to it again or reread it, I encourage that. So I thought about three different questions that, while I was reading this, came up for me, and I thought to share with you all. I'll read them first, and then I'll give us about 3 minutes to our own thoughts and reflections while I play some light music. The first question is to write or think about 1 to 3 feelings or thoughts that came up for you while reading the essay. The second question is, since your loss or losses, has anyone asked you if you are all right? If so, what was your response? And what feeling or feelings came up for you? Were they positive, negative, both, neither? And finally, begin to think about your grief and how your grief is tied to your entire being, your life, your personhood. What are some things that bring you rest in your grief, knowing that it's always there now and that you're all right, but maybe not all right, all at the same time? Thinking about things that open up a little bit space for you to just be, whether that's through exercise, taking naps, spending time with a certain person or group of people, eating a special food, watching movies or shows. Really anything that elicits a little bit of, hey, I can just be right now. I'm going to play this video from YouTube. It's just light music. If music isn't your thing and it kind of disrupts your journaling or reflection process, please pause on this screen so that you can still see the questions. We'll begin to wrap up. If you are still writing or thinking, reflecting, and you want to continue to do so, please do so. I'm going to begin to transition to the next part of the video. In closing out together, if you did get to the last question and you were thinking about some things that allow you to rest in your grief or you allow you that moment of space, one of the things that does that for me in my grief and my losses are called sun breaths and sun breathing. And you can do these one of two ways. I'm going to be demonstrating one way to do these with you. And please feel free to do as many or as little as feels comfortable in your body. And I recommend getting in a comfortable position for this. So comfort looks different for everyone. I mentioned there's one of two ways you can do these, sitting or standing. Today, I'm going to be demonstrating how to do these standing. So, or sitting, I'm sorry, not standing, sitting. So I have a lot of pillows behind me, and I'm really comfy. I have a blanket over my legs. So doing whatever is comfortable for you today is what I recommend for sun breaths. And I will be stopping sharing my screen so you can see the two different ways for the arm positions, and that so we can follow one another in breathing. At any time, if I'm calling the breaths too fast or too slow, please speed up or slow down depending on what feels good in your body. And it may take a couple times to move through that to kind of figure out what feels good and what doesn't feel good. Okay. So here I am. I'm in a cross-legged seat. You can have your feet on the ground if you wish, or cross-legged, or in whatever position is good if you're choosing to sit. You can also do these standing, and there's going to be two ways that you can do your arm movements. And this is really going to be dependent on your shoulder mobility. In everyone, it's different. For me, I have some injury, so depending on the day, sometimes I can do them the one way, and then other days I can only do them the other way. So the first way that you can do a sun breath is to extend your arms out to the side as you breathe in, breathing up all the way to the top. Your hands will touch, and you'll breathe out as you draw through your center. So that's one way. And another way you can do these, if that felt sort of icky on your shoulders, is to breathe forward with your hands like this, and then come down through center. And if you noticed, I didn't go super high up above my head because today my shoulders are kind of saying no to me. So I just stopped right here and then began to bend my arms and draw through center. And we're going to match this up to breath. So as we go out, we're going to breathe in. And as we come down, we'll breathe out. So we'll begin. We'll do 3 rounds of these together. If you're really enjoying them, definitely do more. I'm going to do them out to the sides today. So begin to think about your breath here and notice how it is. And on your next breath in, begin to breathe up and overhead through the nose. And as you reach your top, breathe out through your mouth as you draw through center. Let's do that 3 times. Breathe in and up and out through your mouth. Breathe in as you come up and out as you come down. One more time. Breathe in as you come up And breathe out as you come down. And those are our sun breaths. And please feel free to keep going. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found some rest for yourself while doing this, even if it was just pausing and leaning back, closing your eyes. Again, my name is CJ Roseberry, Uplift Center for Grieving Children. Thank you for watching this video.